Hey guys, it has been a really long time. Basically, I want to make this video as kind of like a little bit of a life update. Where have I been? I know on the YouTube side of things, I kind of disappeared. I have been streaming on Twitch. I never really stopped doing that. But recently, I've gotten a lot of people from YouTube who have come over to Twitch, which glad to have you. And if you guys want to stay like more up to date and like actually take part in gameplay stuff, I am over there. But recently I've had a lot of people from YouTube kind of transition over to Twitch and have said that they really miss the YouTube gameplays or just me uploading videos that were from Twitch over there. And so that kind of like incentivized me to make this update video and then try to kind of like work my way back into things a little bit, but obviously it's going to be different and I want to like at least talk about where have I been? Where is my life? I'm in a completely different room for some of you guys. Like if you don't join Twitch streams, you won't really know what's going on. So I will say this, if you want to keep up to date with things more as they happen, definitely join the Twitch streams. If you just want like little bits and pieces of when I'm going live, when I'm doing whatever, I'd say join Instagram because I update stories over there. I don't really use Twitter that much anymore. I use it, every once in a while. It's more so to kind of let people know if I'm doing something with a sponsorship or I'm playing like a game. I just don't like the vibe over there. Listen, I don't know. It's like every time I open that damn app, I feel like this toxic wave of just everything is so heavy. I don't know where the world is going. Like there's drama constantly, people arguing. So I would say maybe if you're looking for like my life up to date stuff, definitely Instagram. Twitter's probably not gonna be it. Okay, where do I begin? Because there's so many things and there's so many reasons why I kind of stopped posting on YouTube. I think the main massive reason I stopped posting on YouTube for a bit is because I just genuinely got so burnt out and tired of, I don't know, like posting something, the negative comments. Like that's one thing. Like I definitely got a lot of that, but I think I just got very burnt out with the process of it. Feeling like every time I did do it, people weren't really happy with what I was doing, which I know that realistically I should have just pushed through or past that. But I couldn't, especially with like everything else going on in my life. It felt to me like I needed a break. And I mean, like a substantial break. That being said, I have been on Twitch. Like, I still play games. I still love them. I still want to like sit and vibe with people and like hang out and just kind of, relax or like have a moment for all of the community to just like breathe for a second because I don't know, it feels like 2025 has been one of the most divisive and heaviest years that like that there's been in a really long time. Like it just feels like things are like coming to a head. You know what I'm saying? Like life is just like, oh, like I can't even really put it into words. So there was that kind of made me just not want to post as much. But yeah, I think that is kind of what first initially started me to slow down on posting. I don't really think that YouTube knows as much as Twitch knows that in April, um, I did lose Luca. He passed away from basically old age, from getting old, but it has not been an easy thing to talk about. I think there are times even on Twitch where I can barely have words. I have cried many, many times. A lot of you do know. It's hard for me to talk about. I'm finally getting to a place where I can like maybe more easily say a few things, but I cried like literally 2 days ago. I miss him every day. I think today I was like, damn, I really miss Luca. But yeah, so I did want to fill you guys in on that. Sorry if I get a little teary, because not only was he extremely special to me, I mean, I can genuinely say that he was like the love of my life. I fucking loved that dog. I still love that dog. and I think of him constantly. But he also meant a lot to the channel. He was a major part in just the vibes, you know, like having him come in and bark, or he's barking in the background, or he's doing something crazy, watching him get old, him getting stuck in the plants in the background of my old stream room, or like coming in and ripping ass and then leaving, so I'm stuck smelling that shit. Like he meant so much to so many people, and I feel like y'all deserve to know at least like that he's no longer with us, and how, you know, what happened exactly. Because I do get a lot of people asking where Luca is, or there are people that filter into the streams that think he's still with us, and unfortunately, he's not. Luca lived an absolutely spoiled life, okay? I pampered him so much up until his last moments. He actually was going to be 12. It was his birthday. I basically remember getting home from a work trip, and Luca he was fine when I first got home. He kind of, you know, like he did his usual. He greeted me, happy tail wags, and then went and laid down. You know, he was using the restroom, he was eating food, so like nothing out of the ordinary. But then towards the end of the night, I noticed that he was breathing really heavy in like a shallow, you know, type of way. Without going into too many details, it was distressing. So my mom and I rushed him to the vet, and they took him back and did some tests and kind of looked into him and came to the realization that he was probably going into heart failure, which from by all means, like everything they said, because of course I was just like, is there some way to help him? I mean, I know that it was his time. Like on the way to the vet, um, he laid his head in my lap and he looked out the window, and he was just like at peace. Luca is usually a very like in the car, you know, he wants to move around, he wants to like, he's like just an energetic dog. But I feel like in those moments, like he knew. And the vet kind of said, even though I asked like, what can I do, is there anything I should do, what do you think, every single staff member said that he has lived a very long life. He amazed them at his age, because most of the time big dogs like that just do not last until 12. Um, and they also were extremely heartbroken to hear that it was his birthday as well. At like, it was literally like at midnight, he was turning 12. And it was, I think, around 10 p.m. that this stuff was happening. So it was really distressing. They kind of told me they would have to open him up, look at his heart, and he might not even make it through that. And it was just like the realization that he's old and he deserves to be at peace and to rest. It's still not easy to talk about. And I don't think a lot of people understand the weight of that feeling of having to make a choice like that. Even though you know it's the right choice, like I know that that was the right choice for him. It's still really hard to do, and I know there are plenty of people that have probably experienced the same with their pet, and like that's family, that's like your that's like your child, you know. And having to make that kind of decision is excruciating. That was the choice that I made, is to let him be at peace. He was cremated on his birthday. And the vet clinic was so nice. Like they were so kind to me. They gave me some prints of his paw, and I don't know, I think for the longest time I think you're in denial at first. Like every area you look at, you think that he's gonna pop back up, he's gonna be there again. Like I just like waited for him constantly. I remember, I think it was the day after. Yeah, I think it was on his birthday actually, that I was sitting outside. And some of you guys may not, you know, take it as you will. I was sitting outside and I just remember just sobbing. Like I was laying or sitting in his favorite spot on the porch in the sun, which was like his favorite thing to do. And I just remember like praying and just, you know, asking for him to be taken care of, like to watch over him and to let me know that he's okay. Like give me a sign to let me know he's okay. And I remember thinking like, oh, send me a butterfly. And then I was like, oh, but a butterfly is too obvious. Like send me something that I cannot miss to let me know that Luca is okay. And I swear by this. I have video footage of this stuff happening. Like I've showed stream. Maybe I can insert a little snippet of it, but I just asked for like something I can't miss, right? I got up and I went upstairs, but as I usually do, because when I had Luca, I would do this all the time. I left the back door open. I don't have a screen door, okay? In my old place, I didn't have a screen door, so I just like left it open because Luca would come and go, and it was just like kind of the normal thing that I would do. I went upstairs for like 0.5 to go wash my face, and I came back downstairs. When I say that this was like one of the single most special moments for me in my whole life, I mean it, because I came downstairs and I heard a sound in the kitchen, right? So I immediately look over into the kitchen and there is a bird flying around my kitchen, like softly fluttering its wings. And I'm like, what? I lived in this house, last house, for I think around 13 years, 13 to 14 years. And not one time that that back door had been open had there ever been a bird that came into the house. Ever. Okay? And the odds of me saying, please give me a sign I cannot miss, and there is a bird flying around my house. Now it gets crazier, okay? It gets crazier. This bird flies into my living room, and I'm thinking, oh my God, like this is a sign that he's okay. Like I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was in spirit visiting. Maybe it was a sign of just like comfort. I don't know. But this bird flew around the living room. It flew onto a shelf that I had next to my chimney. And I don't have many Luca pictures up, but I had a few. Like there was like one or two on that shelf. The bird lands in front of Luca's picture, turns around, looks at his picture, and then flies down to his dog bed and starts walking around and jumping on his dog bed. Okay, I have no words. I have no words. At that point in time, I'm already recording it, so I'll just go ahead and show you guys because I have a feeling you guys will not believe me until I show you. There's a bird in my house. Holy. On his bed? What the fuck is going on? And then I stop the recording and I immediately say to the bird, because I'm like in shock. I'm like, okay, now I have to catch you. You know, when you just say something out loud, I was like, okay, now I have to catch you. And I'm thinking of like, how am I going to catch this bird? The bird stops up on like it like flies to the window. It looks at me and then it flies straight out the back door. Like it did not stop. It just softly soared straight out the back door. And then what's even crazier is I looked up the bird and it's a wren. And if you look up what a wren has like meaning, symbolism, or like spiritual, meaning, stuff like that, it literally is a depiction of it's like a sign of comfort or someone who has passed. And I genuinely just it meant so much to me, and I was immediately so at relief knowing that I made the right decision, knowing that like okay, he's okay. Like it just felt like okay, that was in spirit him or associated with him, like something, right? And just like that relief. And again, I'm sure some of you guys don't believe this stuff, and that's totally fine. Like everyone is entitled to their own opinions. I know what I felt and I know what I saw and I know what I experienced, and that was like it helped me a lot through the grieving period. That being said, I have still been grieving. So that was April 19th. So he's been gone since then. And It was just really hard. That again is around at some point when I stopped posting to YouTube soon after. And it's just like I just struggled with kind of like everything, but at the same time, there were other aspects in my life that were growing and doing amazing, like riding horses. I've been riding horses, volunteering at a stable, Pilates, like getting out of my house more. I met someone who means so much to me. And it just like, I think there was just a lot of a mixture of things that contributed to me just kind of going MIA. And I definitely think I needed it. I think I needed it for sure to like recollect. So now is like a general life update. I have moved. I'm now in LA. I'm no longer in Ohio. Though I do miss the change of weather. Okay, I would be lying if I said that I didn't. LA is a whole different breed and it is nice and sunny all the time, but it's not always like what I want, you know? Like sometimes you just want a rainy day. But I have moved. I'm in a new space. It's why you see like a whole new setup. For the longest time, I didn't want to get another pet. A lot of people were saying that another pet would heal me or like help me heal. But to be honest, I cannot yet bring myself to have a dog. I feel like I'm finally at the point where maybe I can think about that. But like owning a dog was just not something that I could stomach. Everything reminds me of him. Every dog reminds me of him. Every dog was not him. And so I just don't think it would have been fair for me to do. But I did get to a point where I did get a kitten. She is asleep over here in her cat tree. So I might just try to insert some videos because I feel I just don't want to wake her up. She's like upside down, you know, doing the kitten sleeping pose where like their feet are up and the head is up. And she just looks too cute. So I don't want to mess it up. But if you join stream, she's like a huge distraction. Her little cat bed is over here and it like moves and she's like always running around the desk or doing something, being cute. She's cute. She's so cute. Her name is Maki. She is, I think, only in a couple days. She's about to be 5 months old, so she's really young. And she is probably the most loving, sweet, and cuddly cat that I've ever met. As like, this is my first cat. This is exactly the cat that I needed because she's like a little dose of therapy cuddles, you know? Like she wants to be close. She wants to be like in your lap. She's full of just purring, but she's also a little menace, you know, like she be doing crazy zoomy stuff and she's counter training her, like training her to not be on the counter is probably the toughest part. Like dogs are easy to train. Cats, not so easy. Cats, it's like the repetitive take her off the counter, take her off the counter, take her off the counter. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody has thoughts on how they did it that weren't necessarily spraying them with water, like I don't know if I feel like that would be a last resort type of thing. Like I really want to train her positively to not be on the counter if I can. Let me know in the comments cuz I will take that advice. Other than that, being a cat mom it's been really nice. It's been very very needed for me in my heart. But yeah, so that's kind of like there's just a long span of things. Since being out in LA, I haven't been able to find a stable yet to ride at or kind of find that same I love being outside, guys. Like I love working around animals. I love being with animals. I thrive for it. Okay. So being at the stables, being around horses, like it's so calming, learning to ride them. I don't know how to even explain it. Like it is just I can't wait to get back into that. As for YouTube, so let's go back to that again. I do have a lot of Expedition 33 edited and ready to be posted up until the end. Like I finished that a long time ago. I just, burnt out and stopped posting over here. So I am going to post some of the older Expedition 33 stuff. So if you notice that the background is changing or my hair is changing or we're going back in time to an extent, bear with me, okay? Because I want to finish that for the people that keep asking for it. And it's pretty much already like almost completely edited. I just need to like filter it out. So you'll see a lot of Expedition 33 being posted. There will probably be a little bit of indie games here and there. I have been playing Silent Hill F on stream, so I will have that edited and ready to post over. But that game is so heavy that it's been hard to complete it. I don't know if anyone else has felt that. It's really heavy. Oh, and I do have Dispatch that I have been recording and absolutely loving. Guys, that game is so much fun. It feels refreshing and real and like gritty, you know? Like everything is so watered down and censored nowadays that like playing that game just feels, first of all, it's hilarious. The voice actor's amazing, but I have loved every moment of that. So that I'll also be posting over. And then after that, I'm just going to go from there. So I won't say that I'm going to be like super crazy consistent on YouTube like I am streaming with Twitch, but I do want to, you know, kind of like roll things out a little bit and wrap certain playthroughs up. So I definitely will say if you want to watch more of me playing games, certain games I will not post over to YouTube, then I think that you should go ahead and join Twitch. I will be streaming over there. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Definitely curious how everybody's feeling. I know over here on YouTube, long form media, long form gameplays and playthroughs are not really it anymore. People don't really seem to want to watch that as much. So I'm curious what that means going forward. I'm not really quite sure. Times have definitely changed. Since I started YouTube, it was more the long playthroughs. People enjoyed sitting and watching them. Now I think it's fast-paced content, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I just, you can see everything is like changing a bit. So I'm curious like what you guys feel, how you guys feel about certain things. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. I know part of the update was kind of heavy. Yeah, other than that, life has been pretty good, and I hope it's been good for everybody else. I hope everyone else is hanging in there. Things are so heavy nowadays in the world. Make sure to take those moments to find things that bring you happiness, to do things that you're passionate about, to disconnect from social media for a bit, spend time with people that you love or doing something that you love, or even going outside just to like breathe a little bit because it can be quite suffocating. So, but yeah, make sure to check out the links in the description. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and thanks for watching, guys. God, I haven't said that in so long.